So thank you all of you for joining us over here today as we explore in-depth analysis of the latest trends, challenges and opportunities in commercial and industrial grid-tied systems and energy storage. As demand for reliable energy solutions continue to rise, this session today will explore strategies for optimizing grid integration, overcoming curtailment challenges, and also leveraging smart grid solutions to enhance efficiency. Additionally, today's webinar will also examine the growing role of residential and behind the meter storage, highlighting how prosumers and decentralized storage solutions are reshaping energy consumption patterns. Now, before we proceed today, I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed speakers for their support in organizing this session, and also extend my heartfelt gratitude to GoodWe for being our crusaders and making today's event possible. Now, before we go ahead, I would also like to make a very quick announcement over here. All the attendees today are please requested to post their questions in the Q&A box, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. Our speakers will address to all your questions at the end of the webinar, that is right before we end it. To begin with, it is our privilege today over here to welcome industry expert, Mr. James Ho from GoodWe APAC. Good afternoon, Mr. James.
Hey, afternoon. Yeah.
Yes, so everybody has been waiting for your presentation. Let's quickly begin with it. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon. Maybe in some areas, right? Still in the morning, but welcome to GoodWeek's fifth GoodWeek. And so it has become a tradition for us to organize this kind of event every year. So we're gonna do this again in the coming years. So very glad to get connected with all of you. The friends and also experts from the solar industry. My name is James. I'm heading the business for GoodWe in Asia Pacific. Okay, I will start my presentation. It's pretty much the introduction of GoodWe. So to help you understand about the history and our maybe very quickly the product portfolio we're offering to the market. Yeah, we have come to the 15th year. After our establishment, and so the vision of the company is driving the world's smart energy future, and our mission is to become a major driving force in the global energy transition, building a sustainable future. And so this is a GoodWe moment. As I said, that we started in 2010, and so from 2011 to 13, so we were offering the on-grid residential inverters majorly to the European and Australian markets. So that's the start of GoodWe business in those countries. And in 2014, we developed the first, you can say in Asia Pacific, the first ever storage inverter, which technology is still adopted by the industry. So it's pretty much safe to say GoodWe is the pioneering company for the storage technology. And from 2015 to 20, we were deepening our strategy and presence in different countries, and become a leading supplier of solar inverters in the global market. So then in 2020, we got listed in the stock market. Officially becoming a listed company. So which has allowed us the better resources for expansion and expanding our teams and providing better services to the global customers. So then, so from 2021, then 2024, so You might have heard about GoodWe as the tier one hybrid inverter and solution provider. And also we have successfully deepened our presence in the C&I and utility segment as well. So, I mean, by today, GoodWe has been known and recognized by the major customers as the very comprehensive and strong partner for the different product portfolios. So, I mean, thanks for the customers' continuous support. We have achieved this success by today. So we're gonna do better in the coming years. And some details about the company structure in different countries. Like we have 11 subsidiary companies across the globe, and 27 sales and service centers in different countries as well. And we have 5 R&D centers in China, in the major cities actually, where we have where I mean there are good colleges or universities, so then we can attract the talents from different cities. And we have 4 production facilities located in China and as well as Vietnam. So that is our first overseas production plant. And so throughout all these years, we have achieved some significant market share in different countries. So namely, like Czech Republic and 40% market share. I mean, it's mostly about the storage. And Netherlands, that's one of the few markets we entered into in the early years. And we have achieved 30% for residential, 50% for C&I. And Spain, we have 20% market share. Italy, 12%. And here I want to mention Germany, particularly because, I mean, this is a market with a very high standard for your product and solution, right, to enter into. So, I mean, luckily we have achieved 26% market share there, both for the residential storage and C&I storage. And also we have a lot of utility installations there in the German market as well. So that is pretty much a very impressive achievement. And Australia, we have 30% market share starting from, you will say, 10 years ago. And also our market share is still growing. I mean, with the good track record of the product performance and also the service we're providing to this market. And so now come to the product portfolio. So I will just give the brief introduction about the range of products we're offering to the market. I mean, on the left side, you will see the on-grid segment, covering the residential, C&I, and the utility. So from 0.7 to 30 kilowatt, we call that residential on-grid range. Then 25 to 125 for C&I, and we have a 250 and 350 for the utility inverters. So I mean, backed by the monitoring platform, so we can offer this advanced monitoring technology to our customers as well. I mean, from the monitoring platform and also the app from your phone. And apart from that, we're offering the as I just mentioned, right? We're very strong in the storage segment. So for energy storage product, the range is from 3 kilowatt up to 100. And together with the hybrid inverter, we're offering the batteries as well, and also EV charger and heat pump and BIPV products. So you can say we are the one-stop whole kit provider in this industry. So that is also uniqueness about GoodWe. I mean, who was well known as the inverter provider. So now we can provide the whole system as well. Okay, so I mean, very briefly, I just introduced GoodWe company and the product portfolio. So now, later on, right, you will see the detailed technical features and the product models of the company as well. So I will hand over to my colleague for that details. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next year.
Thank you very much, Mr. James. I'm sorry, we cannot hear you anymore. But yes, thank you so much, Mr. James, because with over 15 years of experience in the PV industry, Mr. Ho has had a profound understanding of global solar market trends, which is pretty much visible with his presentation over here. And the policy landscapes, the technical advancements that he has been dealing with have been of great help over here today for us because of all the information that he shared with us. Thank you so much, Mr. James. We have been truly honored to have you over here with us. And now it's time for our next speaker to take over, Mr. M.K. Balaji from Deloitte Consulting. Mr. Balaji is a global sustainability and investment management expert with over 34 years of an experience across manufacturing, energy, power, and finance. He's a specialist leader at Deloitte Consulting and bringing a unique blend of corporate and development sector expertise. He has led major regional projects collaborating with governments and the private sector on project development, risk mitigation, and financing. Good afternoon, Mr. Balaji.
Good afternoon.
So, we are truly honored to have you over here with us today to share your valuable insights. And now, looking forward to your insightful presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Uh, just give me a second. I'm loading the presentation.
Sure, no worries. Also, take your time. In the meanwhile, I'll take this time to please inform people once again, all the attendees, whatever questions you'll have, please do not forget to post it in the Q&A box so that we can get them all answered. Over to you, Mr. Balaji, once again.
So is my presentation on?
Yes, it is. It is. We can see
All
it.
right. Okay, so this is the short presentation covering the key considerations in deploying battery energy storage systems. It's a key thing to help push more of variable renewable energy. So we will be covering in this session, I'm going to talk about the applications of BESS. We will talk a little bit about technology, not so much in detail. And the last three topics are the ones which we do not come across very often, which is on the policy and regulation, commercial considerations, and the financial considerations while deploying battery energy storage systems. So let me start with the applications. So when we look at the applications of BESS, that means where are we going to use battery energy storage systems? We look at three key points. One is the domain. That means whether the battery energy storage system is used in transmission or distribution, or is it just with the customer behind the meter, or is it used in microgrid? So there are four typical domains on which the battery energy storage systems are deployed. In each of these domains, we also need to understand the type of service, that is why. So the first question is, where is it deployed? The second one is, why is it deployed? So is it deployed to smoothen the variability of renewable energy? That is one option. Or is it just a storage of energy? That's another option, right? Then there is sometimes it is to manage the power quality, which is like the frequency or the voltage or those kind of things. In the distribution services, it can be used for various other areas as well. But most of the times it is either capacity or storage or managing the power parameters, power quality parameters. So from the where to the how, we will also now also look at the when. The when is basically addresses the time scale for which the battery is used, whether it is used for a few minutes or a few seconds. Like in many power quality applications, it's used for short periods of time, but it can be most capacity applications are for long periods of times, like hours or days. So it's very important first to start and understand why are we using it and where are we using it and for how long do we want to use it. So that's the first thing. Having understood those parameters, we then also have to look at the technology selection. Now, currently, of course, there are lots of best technologies like flow batteries and sodium and all of that. But the most popular batteries are the lithium ion batteries. And even within lithium ion batteries, there are a number of different chemistries of lithium ion that are available in the market. While considering which chemistry to use, obviously, we have to take a look at the application. And that for that particular application, there are four key areas. That is the cost, the specific power of the battery, safety considerations, and the lifespan of the battery. That's very important. For example, the lifespan depends on how many charges and discharges that you have. So if you have a typical application where you have a lot of charge discharge cycles, then you probably will want to have something which has a bit large lifespan, right? So that's a way to think about. So these which chemistry to select will depend on that. Obviously, the advantages of lithium technology is that they are compact because of high power densities. They have very high round trip efficiencies. That means you can, from the charge to the discharge, you can almost discharge it down to 85% of the total charge. They are modular, so you can keep adding more more batteries as the need arises. They have a very fast response time, so very important for applications where we are using for power quality management. And as we have seen with larger volumes of deployment, the prices of lithium-ion batteries have also started gradually going down. The key disadvantages of the lithium-ion batteries are obviously they degrade over a period of time, as we might have also personally experienced with our telephone batteries and such devices. There are safety risks due to the heating up of the batteries. This is a very important consideration while the design and design of the battery systems. And of course, the resource that is used for making the batteries is not infinite. So lithium, nickel, cobalt we're running out of these, and these are becoming more and more expensive as we go. So once we know what are the applications, based on the application, we can then look at which chemistry of the lithium ion cell works best for our situation. Next, we look at one of the things that's evolving in almost all of Asia Pacific is the policy and regulation. When we look at the policy and regulation, the first thing we need to understand is what is the role, whose role, like the utilities role, the regulators role, the battery energy providers role. This is very important to understand. You will understand, maybe once I go to the next slide on the commercial, you will get to know what I mean by the role. It's like, a battery is a storage device, right? So you can be just like a landlord who's renting your space, right? So that's one way to do it. Or you can be like a logistics provider who kind of completely manages the in out of the material. So you can be any of these. So battery, you can imagine battery as a storage space, and you can be just like a landlord who's just rented out the place and the tenant does whatever with it. And in this case, the tenant can be the utility with whom you're connected, right? So the utility then manages the space or the battery storage the way they want. So that's what we are basically trying to differentiate the role of the owner of the battery in this whole game. So that's very important to understand. The other thing is we got to see what are the long-term policies. The policies in many countries are just at a planning stage, especially in the Southeast Asia. Some countries have clearly outlined deployment targets as in by 2025, we will have X gigawatts. By 2030, we will have Y gigawatts. So it's important to understand those deployment targets, especially when we are trying to develop. But most of the times, the deployment targets are for grid-connected batteries and not for behind-the-meter batteries. And then what cross-cutting support is available? The cross-cutting support in public policy means, like, let's say you're importing the batteries. Do we have the right HS code for these batteries or its components? Do we have the right tariffs identified under those HS codes? These things are a challenge, especially when you are entering a new market, or when it's a new technology in many places. So that's what we are looking at as cross-cutting. I mean, there may be transport side, the fire safety side. All these things are not clearly evolved. So the cross-cutting support is another big area for public policy to be working on. The next is, of course, the laws and regulations on how batteries are classified. Is it a generation resource, or is it considered to be a transmission asset or a distribution asset? So that's a very important thing to understand. And then who owns this? As I said, you know, who owns the storage? That's a very important thing. Then how is it compensated? That is the tariff side, feed-in tariffs, other incentives, etc. That we'll again see a little more detailed in the next section. Connection and grid codes. This is very technical. It should be fully evolved, and we should know to what grid codes we are connecting these batteries to. The grid fees and licensing for installing these systems, and what is the process for permitting for these. So these are all the various law and regulation related areas that we need to be having a clear understanding of. And then when it comes to the utility, utility is the one that's kind of making the use of the battery when it's in a grid connected system. So who owns the battery system? And then when we are building utility scale battery systems, we are usually looking at large systems. And for such large systems, we have to be very careful given the global supply chain pressures in terms of delivery. So the timelines for deploying these may be impacted if we do not carefully plan it. Then evaluating the use case, which is again to do with the application, is very important. Where is the battery placed? What is its use, and how it's going to impact the grid? That's a very important thing to understand. Contractual conventions in the given country within the regulatory framework. That's another very important thing. And the operational parameters, which means on the grid that where it is connected, do we understand all the characteristics of that grid? So that, and depending on that, you will have to be configuring the battery and its control systems, etc. The next slide basically will talk about the commercial considerations. So in the commercial considerations, again, we start with where are we installing the battery, whether it is grid scale, whether it's behind the meter, or whether it's on a microgrid. And even now there is talk about, of course, EVs do have batteries, but also to use the batteries from the EVs to power up homes and stuff like that. So that's called vehicle to grid, right? So there is also where and how the battery is used. So that needs to be clearly understood. Then we need to understand what are the incentives the market is providing. Upfront payments could be like subsidies, capital subsidies that can be there. Renewable energy credits, RECs, we all understand that. There could be other de-risking initiatives like guarantees or feed-in tariffs or those kind of things that the government may provide. And then who's participating in the market and how much, like, the utility or the regulator is helping us with the risks of the project. A third area is, of course, the revenues. That is, how do you contract? What are the modes of contract? Like, as I mentioned, like if battery is a storage system, right? It's like a warehouse. Like you can consider it like a warehouse. So warehouse, you can have a warehouse, you can rent it on a monthly basis, or you can just rent it on how much material is stored on an hourly basis. So that's an energy only contract. If it is kind of a fixed fee rental, it's like a tolling contract. You just fixed fee rental for the storage. And the last one is merchant model. That is like in an energy only contract, sometimes you have a minimum guarantee of how much space or how much battery would be used. But in merchant model, there is no such guarantee of minimum usage. Whatever happens on a day-to-day or a minute-by-minute basis, that's how it is used. Mostly for the ancillary services, a merchant model would be preferred. But for most of the others, an energy-only contract or a tolling contract may be a preferred mode. So once you have seen the CAPEX and OPEX related commercial things, then you actually go to procure the batteries. So that, of course, would start with planning the process of procurement, depending on the lead times, etc. Procurement, development, your RFPs for the battery systems. Then you obviously float the RFPs, and then you have the bids. You evaluate the bids, and then you would issue contracts to the selected bidder. In commercial contracting for battery energy services, we look at a number of parameters like the who owns the batteries, what is the contractual tenor, like is it a 10-year PPA or a 15-year PPA, or merchant powers don't have anything like that. So that's a very important thing. What's the contractual tenor? System and operational parameters, especially for grid connected systems, we need to understand grid codes, how that particular network has been behaving. So it's very important to understand that. It's not uncommon for the batteries BESS installer to already have a grid study report with them at the time they are designing the system. Connection and safety requirements, this could be grid codes, this could be all the other safety requirements to prevent fire and such overheating hazards. Communication and control requirements between the utility, the battery storage system operator, or the generation system, etc. Warranties and performance guarantees, pretty straight. Siting is where to locate it physically. Sometimes you say locate it in the substation, or you may locate it close to the generation. So that's all completely a matter of how that network is and what the characteristics are. And the compensation is obviously, the subsidies, the feed-in tariffs, and all the other things. The next important parameter that we look at is for financing these battery systems. So when we look at financing, if you go to a bank or anybody, first thing that they'll say, they'll start looking at is what are the risks. So what are the risks in this whole project, right? So the risks, as you can see in the red box in the middle, are risks to do with the development of the whole system, which means, do we understand how to site it? Did we actually do the network studies properly? Do we know, did we get all the permits and licenses, in time? Those kind of things, right? And also whether the project will be constructed on time and there won't be any delays. Then comes the supply chain risks. The supply chain risks are to do with mainly, as I said, there is a lot of demand for all the components of the battery energy system, given the so the supply side may not be able to catch up with the demand. So there could be delays due to component delays, etc. So it's very important to understand and secure your entire timelines. So that's a very important thing. The third one is financing risks. Financial risks are, sudden change in interest rates can be one. Sudden change in foreign exchange rates is another one. These are kind of financial risks that one has to build in. The other build in to mitigate, I would say. Then the next one is, of course, operational risks. Operational risks are to do with, obviously, improper design or not understanding the network very well. So your system may degrade faster than what you thought. It's not charging very well. It's not discharging very well. So there could be quality of component related issues. There could be manpower, skill issues with that. So those are some of the things that when you go to anybody who's financing it, whether it's a bank or somebody else, they would have all these questions. So you need to think through these questions right up front and have answers to them. The next one is, of course, to do with the project development. So in the project development, we have to first understand the use case. That is what I call as the application, which is the first slide that I thought shown you. And then based on the application, you will also go to select the right technology. So that's very important first to understand the use case. A number of studies are required at this stage, and everybody will, including the lenders and all, will ask for those studies to be shown. The next one is all the agreements with the utility, the power purchase agreement, all the permits, licenses, any of those are important. And so like in any project, you would have all the necessary agreements, including the EPC and all of that. And the last one is, which is very important. Normally, this could be a part of the use case evaluation, but siting, because in battery energy storage system, there are a number of options of siting. It's important to weigh all these options and document them and say why you're choosing that particular site for locating the battery. So it's important to include the siting option exploration as part of your um, financing ask, because you are weighing the risks and you're then deciding where to site the batteries. The last part is what goes into impacting the financial returns. So that's basically the key assumptions that we take into the financial modeling. So the financial modeling has three key areas. One is technical input. The second one is economic input. And the third one is financial input. These inputs, are the assumptions that we make. So, for example, some of the things that we have on the capital expenses side, some of the things that impact the capital expense are the technology that we select, the type of battery, the capacity, which is a very, very important thing. Along with the siting, the capacity of the battery is another area where a lot of time and efforts are spent. The best power capacity percent. Then the storage max duration and the charge rate. So all this would automatically come from your use case. The operating expenses are driven by the calendar life of the battery, basic O&M costs, warranty costs and extended warranty costs, self-discharge losses. Batteries do have self-discharge. Round-trip efficiency. That means how much of electrons we put in and how much do we actually get out. Degradation and augmentation. So over a period of time, batteries do degrade. Then we have to probably add a few cells periodically. So that's the augmentation. So what are the costs of that? Cycle life, duty cycle, and the depth of discharge. So these are some of the operating parameters that impact the operating expenses and the capital expenses, which are equally spread across the technical and economic inputs. On the financial side, of course, the main inputs would be interest costs and currency exchange rates and stuff like that. So that's the end of my presentation. Here is my email. And after today, if any of you want to know more about it, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to talk to you all. If there are any questions, I'll take it up and answer them. Thank you. Over to you, Akta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Balaji. Yes, we do have a couple of questions that have been lined up, but we will be taking all of them towards the end of the seminar. That was a fantastic presentation. Thank you so much. And now I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our next distinguished speaker, Mr. Mrityunjay Nanda from Asia Clean Energy Partners. Good afternoon, Mr. Nanda.
Good afternoon, Akta. So could you please confirm that you can
before you begin, I'd just like to tell everybody a little more about you.
Sure.
Mr. Nanda is a leading... Yes.
Yes, please go ahead. I was confirming if you can actually hear me. So please go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, you're pretty much audible. We can see you very clearly. Mr. Nanda is a leading expert in power systems, energy optimization, and techno-economic assessments. As a team leader, technology, and markets, he plays a crucial role in shaping clean energy strategies across the Asia-Pacific region. And we are absolutely honored to have him with us today over here. And now I would like to hand it over to you to share your insights and present on the market outlook. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Akta. Thank you for the kind words. So I will start sharing my screen and please confirm that you actually see it.
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, let me put it in full screen mode. So yeah, thank you. So and good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Uh, so the topic of discussion for the next 15 minutes or so would be about the market outlook, basically focusing on the C&I grid-tied systems and energy storage. And I would be focusing on the Southeast Asian region because I'm based out of this region, and most of our work has been in this region. Yes, I'm Mrityunjay, the team leader of a small portfolio of projects from a boutique consulting company called Asia Clean Energy Partners. So this slide, I'll just spend a few minutes or so telling everyone that who we are. So Asia Clean Energy Partners, we were founded in 2018, and we are an international consulting company that's, as the name suggests, focuses on clean energy and the scaling up of effective clean energy initiatives in this region. We work across a breadth of services, but most of them are upstream, focusing on policies, regulations, etc. And most of our work has been till date with the who's and who's of the developing world, be it the MDBs like ADB, World Bank, or the international development agencies like USAID, GIZ, or UNOPS. So we are headquartered in Bangkok, but we have our colleagues spread across all the world, throughout the world in different regions. But as I just mentioned, most of our work has been focused on Southeast Asia, but we have some projects in other parts of the world, but maybe a bit more in the Pacific, a bit in India as well. So who we are, that was in a nutshell. So now I would move on to the topic of discussion, which is about giving you an insight on the market outlook, specifically regarding to C&I solar and PV projects in this region. So starting off, what are the key drivers of these projects in Southeast Asia? And probably every country has its own rules and regulations and policies, and everything related to these RE-related policies stems from their NDCs, or nationally determined contributions. So every country has committed to a certain amount of GHG reductions, and some of them are conditional, some of them are unconditional. Some country is ahead in this commitment, some of them are lagging behind. So this infographic gives us an idea of what all the countries have committed over the past few years. This has evolved quite a bit, maybe not, if not substantially, over the past few years. There have been additional commitments, there have been some withdrawals as well, but overall, this is what drives everything. And in terms of, as a private player, what are the incentives, or what are the drivers that makes me think of a PV plus battery project, or just a PV project in my commercial and industrial establishment? So first of all, the obvious one would be the prices, the electricity prices. A few countries in Southeast Asia, the cost of electricity is pretty high. So, and then as an industrial owner, so if I can figure out a financial mechanism, we heard Balaji talking about the best rated financial mechanism quite in details. But in general, if I can come up with a financial mechanism that kind of makes my takes down my electricity cost by a few cents, and I can eventually recover that cost over the next few years, then for sure I should go for it. And then, but that apart from that, one of the key factors is, as I just talked about, is the policy and regulatory support. So what are the financial incentives given by the government, and what are the regulatory incentives? I see a question regarding this as well from one of our audience. So, which is very important in terms of encouragement for an industrial client to go ahead and invest quite an amount of money in a C&I PV project. So, and then corporate sustainability goals. I think this is probably, I should have put it the first, because this is what you have noticed in this region at least, is the most important factor of why industries actually are going for such clean energy projects, or investing in any clean energy projects. Because as we know, all the countries have their net zero goals, but that kind of boils down to a company level or a conglomerate level as well. So different companies or different entities have set out their own net zero targets or GHG reduction targets. So maybe at a direct scope one level, or if in the supply chain as well. So so that kind of forces and the customer perception around owning a green product kind of forces all these companies to actually invest in a clean energy. It may be captive or non-captive, but a clean energy initiative of their own. And then it's about having a very secure and resilient needs. A lot of countries in this region who do not have a very evolved or mature grid infrastructure. So companies are going for their own PV projects that kind of gives them this energy security. So for if there's a brownout or a blackout in the region where my factory is located, so if I have a solar plus battery that kind of guarantees me 24 hours of energy supplies, and I should not be worried about what goes on outside my premises. And then this is probably another important factor, which is about the declining solar and battery costs. Over the years, the technologies have been developing in terms of exponential terms, and the costs have been reducing probably a few cents a year, I would say. So this kind of incentivizes a private player to start thinking about having these what do you call it, RE investments. I mean, the first four that we saw are probably the ones that makes them think, but the last one is the one that makes them act. So if as a private company, I don't see it's like if it's money that I'm kind of putting in an investment, if I don't see a return around that, so then probably I'm not going to do that. So these are very five key factors that we thought are market drivers that kind of are important to first lay down around this market. So let's talk about a few trends in this region that we are seeing related to these specific projects. The growth of C&I rooftop solar. So that's probably the dominant way in which the C&I grid-tied systems are designed or being modeled in this region. So, and it's gaining traction in Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia, plus some other countries. So probably Vietnam saw an exponential boom in specifically this type of projects during 2019, 2020. And Thailand is probably the leader in this region as well, because they have a very regulated C&I solar rooftop market. An expansion of behind the meter storage as well. So a lot of businesses are exploring this option because if it's behind the meter, the companies have a lot of leverage in terms of playing around with the optimization and figuring out what's the best possible package for them that works. So a lot of pilot programs are happening in Singapore, Vietnam, and the Philippines as well. I mean, Singapore and Philippines having the most evolved decentralized market in this region. I mean, Singapore is way ahead of anyone else, and Philippines is behind that to some extent. So that's one of the trends that you're seeing as well. And the next topic is about the virtual power plants and aggregation techniques. So this is a very recent trend. Not a lot has happened, but countries as like Singapore, who has a very decentralized market, and they have a few cutting edge technologies that they are actually adopted and piloting. So they're going for these VPPs, where a lot of decentralized generation assets are coming together and acting as a battery for a lot of industrial customers. So this kind of ensures a lot of security in terms of generation, in terms of energy supply. Plus, they're trying out new ways to kind of becoming a bit more independent of the grid, and having a good regulation around that is key as well. And energy as a service business model. So this is probably very much in practice, I would say, in Thailand in terms of C&I rooftop solar, where as a roof owner, what I'm doing is I'm not 100% owning the project itself, but I'm leasing out the roofs, and a private developer comes in and has an airtight PPA with me. I get, as a roof owner, some kind of incentive in terms of the energy and the tariff, and the developer comes up with a pretty good financial model that they can make money, and so can I save money from my electricity costs. Plus, I'm assured 100% green energy from my rooftop. So a lot of new business models have been tried around, and there are a lot of other business models that we can talk about in this specific sector as well. And some of the trends are already prevalent. Some of them, like the VPP, are coming along. But all I can say is this sector is growing, and it's going to boom in the next few years, because the hunger for clean energy is out there, and it's not going to reduce anytime soon. Uh, let's just see where each country is. It doesn't have all the full 10 ASEAN countries. It just has the key players or the leaders that have actually implemented or are implementing some key initiatives in this sector. And as I mentioned, Thailand has a very strong solar rooftop C&I market. There are some challenges around this, but we can see the C&I solar rooftop sprouting over all the industrial estates, and it's one of the if as an industry owner, if I'm thinking of investing, getting some clean energy, probably this is the first way that they are going to do it, at least in Thailand. There are some challenges associated with that, so they're not very PV PV market in Thailand is very evolved and mature, I would say. But when it comes to battery, there are not very great incentives, but it's slowly picking up. Small regulatory gaps, I would say, it's not a small gap, it's probably a big gap, and a big complaint that we hear is that the C&I customers are not allowed to export their additional power. So they cannot fully harness the amount of rooftop available to them. So that's one of the key challenges for C&I projects in Thailand. Vietnam, as everyone knows, it's probably it's the largest solar capacity in Southeast Asia, and it saw probably close to 20 gigawatt of solar installations in 1 year alone a few years back. But what it led this unregulated boom is a lot of curtailment issues. So the grid had to issue directives to developers to curtail their power. But a lot of new initiatives have happening, and this DPPA rollout, where it allows private players to directly buy clean energy from the grid using the grid transmission network, is probably revolutionary. It had been in the pilot scale for a few years, but now this year they're rolling it out in the commercial scale, and we'll see how it goes. Challenges, yes, grid congestion. So the north and south Vietnam connectivity isn't that great, and they have still not opened up their infrastructure market to private players. So the pace at which these solar projects or any power project develops is much faster than the pace at which this grid reinforcements are happening in Vietnam. So these reinforcements are not able to keep pace with these developments, and that's why we see issues like congestion and curtailment issues. Policy uncertainty, yes. So there has been different feed-in tariff mechanisms which had certain cut-off dates, and that a lot of projects were facing this uncertain situation while they were trying to take advantage of those good tariffs. But then many of them could not commit to those deadlines, and the government has taken a long time to come back with a new one. So a lot going on in that aspect as well. Malaysia, it has been slow but steadily developing new mechanisms. The net metering mechanism, where 3.0, where it allows customers to sell back electricity to the grid, is very alluring. It has been giving out in batches, and then this is where I can say it leads Thailand in terms of allowing C&I players to commercialize their projects. But we haven't seen a lot of new battery storage projects, but for sure they are coming in the near future. Singapore, as I have been mentioning, they are a leader in this in terms of innovation. They have being a country constrained by space. They have been hungry for green power, because a lot of big corporations are headquartered in Singapore, and they want green power. It has been looking around in this region for buying guaranteed green power, be it importing power from Laos or even from Australia. We may have heard of this, what you call, much talked about Sun Cable project. But these projects, and it's surely in talks with Indonesia as well. But these are probably will take time. And in the meantime, it's adopting some new technologies like RECs or carbon credits, where even though I'm not directly buying green power, but I'm able to offset my emissions using these techniques. Indonesia and Philippines, both of them have a similar geography. Both of them are what you call archipelagos, where a lot of small scattered islands, and there have been what do you call it? Indonesia specifically is very dominant on coal, and it's been trying to replace them with new mechanisms, but it's taking time. Philippines is implementing this, trying to replace this diesel operated power plants in all these smaller islands with small microgrids with PV and battery, but it's not easy because of the having a feasible financial model around these is not easy, and finding the financiers who are able to back these projects has not been easy as well. So key challenges, probably I have touched upon most of this from the past few minutes, but just to reiterate, regulatory uncertainty. So first of all, if a government isn't backing the sector with proper rules and regulations, then probably it won't lead to an uptick in investment in the sector. Grid constraints, a lot of what do you call regulators and grid operators are very reticent to open up the grid. They may be right in their own ways, because grid it has this natural security considerations as well. But if you actually learn from countries like Europe, where they have fully decentralized their grid and made is a very good example for other regions to adopt. But it won't be easy, because we have been hearing about the Asian power grid for the last 30 years, even though the recent developments have shown that things are moving ahead in the right direction, but nothing much has happened as well in terms of opening up the grids. And at a country level, some countries are, as Philippines and Singapore, are ahead. Thailand and who would say probably Malaysia are just a bit behind, and the rest of the ASEAN are very hesitant to open up the grid. Financing barriers. So this probably kind of is relatable to the first and two. If there are kind of good regulations around this, so people would come up with inventive financing mechanisms to kind of have the projects. But still, that remains a very important factor. Finding bankable finding good investors, because a lot of these RE projects have high capex, and and depending on where the market stands, many of them are not ready to invest put up a lot of money upfront, because a lot of regional geographical uncertainties going on around the world, and they feel that, okay, it's easy for me to find somebody a very what do you call it, project that kind of assures me a return in the short term, but then putting up my money in these long-term PPAs, probably 25, 30 years PPAs. The last one is a bit technical, the lack of demand response market. It's an indirect advantage of having a C&I project in your say factory. So if if at all Southeast Asia had a very evolved demand response market, where I as a customer can modulate my load patterns and also use the energy storage device in my compound to earn money out of it by contributing to the grid, or taking part in commercial scale demand response programs, then that would be an additional incentive for me to kind of invest in these projects. But apart from a few pilot projects in Thailand, plus a few commercial scale projects in Singapore, we haven't seen this energy efficiency related market to be kind of active in this region, at least. A lot of talk is going on, because energy efficiency is considered the lowest hanging fruit in terms of reducing your energy emissions, right? So, but we haven't seen a lot of activity in this area. Where is the outlook? So yes, it's positive in this region. The cost of batteries are going down. It is expected to fall as low as 30 to 50% in the next few years. So that will make these projects more commercially viable. Corporate PPAs, as we say, like corporate PPA is something that's very prevalent already in Vietnam and Thailand between the what do you call commercial scale customers. But new mechanisms, new financial mechanisms are coming up, and people will find the new models to kind of make this project feasible. Hybrid systems, yes, it's not just solar, but so a mix of finding the right mix of different battery technologies plus the PV plus maybe wind if you have the land enough, or somebody asked the question of integrating EV to that. That's a very good suggestion as well. Maybe V2G is something that they can consider at a fleet scale. So finding the right techno-economic solution is important, and a lot of studies are being carried out in this part as well for before anyone invests in any project. So then finally, leveraging AI. So I mean, that's the talk of the town. Everyone is talking about how to harness the power of AI in the sector they work. And I would say clean energy is probably one of the important ones where we can actually use AI in terms of, I would say data analysis is one of them. Like if a utility starts using AI to kind of read its kind of analyze its customer behaviors, so they can go along. It can take them a long way in terms of their grid scale planning. But having access to the data is still a challenge in this region, but it's coming. AI implementation is already happening at a much smaller scale, probably say a building management system. So all these building management systems are already integrating AI into the system and seeing that in what best possible way they can make these buildings more energy efficient. So that's coming in the next few years. A few recommendations from what we have discussed. Yes, policy development is probably at the top of of every list that we saw. So having a good favoring policy would actually help in these investments. Modernizing the grid, yes, true as well. As in scale of Vietnam, I would say it's not just modernizing, but actually upgrading and expanding the grid, which is a very simple thing, but it's not an easy one to do. That kind of gives you the what do you call it, the space to kind of sell back your electricity, I would say. Plus new technologies like integrating smart meters, and from a utilities perspective, having new programs like demand response or DSM programs integrated into your model as well will help with the uptake of these projects. And finally, finding out innovative financing mechanisms or instruments, like something like blended finance, where you kind of de-risk a lot of projects. Finding out these innovative financing mechanisms would help bring back this investor confidence in these projects. And then we just discussed about this, like, keep on digging that how can we best use this AI for optimizing this. I mean, finding out best way to use AI in terms of be it optimization techniques, be it data management, be it any other field that we can actually use. There's technology to kind of help integrate these projects or develop these projects in a better way. So yeah, that was my short presentation. I would thank you everyone for your time, and you can feel free to reach out to me to further discuss this topic, and happy to answer any questions. Thank you. Back to you, Akhtar.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mrityunjay. Thank you so much. And now, yes, I guess I've been seeing a lot of questions. I'd like to request everybody once again to please post your questions in the Q&A box, and we will be answering all of the questions towards the end of the seminar. And now it is time to introduce our next speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Jeffrey from GoodWe. Mr. Jeffrey has been a senior solution engineer at GoodWe in the Southeast Asia region for over 3 years, specializing in commercial and industrial solar solutions and technical training. With his extensive expertise, he not only has an in depth understanding of GoodWe's advanced C&I solutions, but also possesses valuable insights to the evolving solar markets across the Southeast Asia. We're extremely honored to have him over here with us today to share his expertise. Good afternoon, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah, good afternoon, Actor. Yeah,
How have you been?
yeah, that's okay.
Yes. So I think it's time now for you to take over stage and present on GoodWe Solutions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me share screen. Yes, can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, our valued partner or our customers. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jeffrey, and I'm the solution engineer in charge of the APAC region. So today I'm very excited to take you through our GoodWe innovative C&I solutions, including I think the on-grid and the storage one. So for the next 20, maybe I think the 20 minutes, we will explore how GoodWe is revolutionizing the renewable energy landscape with our on-grid and the hybrid system. So also upcoming products and real-world case studies. So by the end of this section, I think you will have some clear understanding of why GoodWe is the trusted global leader in the renewable energy the innovation. Okay, so let's go start with some quick overview of what I will talk today. So I think this slide I will divide it into the 4 parts. The first one is the GoodWe's on-grid solution. Also, the next is a hybrid one. And the third one thing is some of the plans and the upcoming products for this year. Maybe some of the, including some of the new technology and some of the new features about the inverters and also others parameters. And last one is some of the cases we have installed in China and also the global market of all the countries. Okay, I think for the GoodWe's on-grid solutions, these are designed to meet the determined energy needs of the commercial and industrial business. So this system is not only efficient but also highly reliable and scalable. For example, the GT series offers up to 125 kilowatts hours with 10 MPTs. So ensuring the maximum energy harvest even in the complex installation. With features like the AFCI and also the optimized the noise levels, you can see that the lower value just below the 70 dB. And these systems are both safe and quiet, making them ideal for the wide range of the environment. Also, GT series is perfect for I think it's for the large scale the installation with the rooftop. With up to 10 MPTs, it can adapt to various PV modules, ensuring flexibility and optimal performance. The DC side, supports up to 21 amps per string, and also the SPD and also other protection method against some of the surges and also some others, the current or some of the sudden voltage, making it capable with the latest maybe the 182 and also the 210 the PV modules of the panels. This means you can minimize the energy output while maintaining a high level of safety and reliability. Okay, for yes. For the next lower voltage installation or the scenario, we have the GT 75 kilowatts series offers some with the 8 MPTs and up to 116 160% oversizing. It designed for the noise-sensitive environment operating at less than 65 dB, which is quieter than a typical conversation. With the AC and the DC side, the SPD, I think the SPD protection level is the type 2 as default. It ensures that the safety and reliability, making it a great choice for business that need compact yet the powerful solution. I think also the low voltage the scenario maybe is popular or the full use of in the Philippines and also maybe other countries such as Brazil. So for our GoodWe, I think the full range, the power capacity and the different scenario of the grid, we can provide some the proper the solution and also the products. Okay. Yes, I think next. Yeah, sorry, wait a minute, maybe some of the step. Okay, for the new one, for maybe some of the largest scale products, the SMT series is one of our most versatile of settings of offerings for providing up to 6 MPT and 180% oversizing. This makes it ideal for the business looking for a balance between the power and the efficiency. Also with the noise level below 66 dB and the DC side SPD, it is a reliable choice for the various applications from the small commercial buildings to the larger industrial facilities. It's flexible and the efficiency features make it a popular choice among our customers. Also, except for some of the renewable, maybe we have installed some many projects all over the Southeast or the South Asia countries with our very stable and very popular the products for maybe the several years, and also because the different countries have the different kind of the grid. Maybe for the 400 output, also the 380 volts output, we have used the many of our stock product that with the HT or the MT or the STT series. And for some of the low voltage countries such as Philippines, we also have installed some of our lower voltage series for the countryside use or the factories of the specialized grid. And also for some of the large scale the rooftop projects, so GoodWe also offer some of the high voltage solutions such as our 250 kilowatts HT series. This solution is designed to reduce some of the number of the strings or the cables, minimizing some of the installation complexity and the labor cost. It is a perfect fit for the industrial application requiring the high power output. Yeah. And I think by the way, some maybe except our inverters, the features or the parameters, also our product have offered for our customers some of the ideas or some of the connection solutions with the different scenarios. Yeah. Also, the GoodWe, because GoodWe system are designed to integrate it with, seamlessly with our third-party the devices, whether as it showed here, maybe the third-party data logger, and but also some the local or the third-party monitoring system. So our API, the protocol also. The Modbus, the RTU protocol ensures the smooth data exchange. Also, the API or the Modbus protocol is opening for our customers. Also, this makes it easier to cooperate with GoodWe's inverters into existing setup. Also, for our own data loggers, we have also reserved some of the COM ports for the weather station, also other the system devices connected to our own system. Also, the GoodWe have provided the flexible and compatible with the wide range of the equipment. Also, because our open architecture approach ensures that you can build a system that meets your specific needs without being locked into the single vendor. Yes, also for the genset, that the diesel generator, for the on-grid inverter, we also we can also provide some the Modbus the protocol to the controller of the genset and to provide some the protection of the output to the genset and also the whole system. This solution has been used in our maybe some of the Myanmar and also other countries that must be used on the genset to assistant of the grid, the output. So I think if other customers in the different countries might want to get some more knowledge about our the genset cooperation, so don't hesitate to contact us to get some of the maybe some of the register map or the others with some of the technical support. And by the way, maybe our product, some of the features will be also some highlights of among all the brands of the models of the inverters. I think the safety also is the top priority of the GoodWe products. Our system, the feature, the AFCI for the AFCI protection has also get some of the reports or the certifications about the IEC and also other UL the standard. So we can guarantee to protect some of the fire or some of the risk of the fire to do the switch off or to work off for the inverters and get and also offer some of the alarms and to our the inverters and the platform for the customers, and also the ISD rapid shutdown for the emergency situation. This the ISD means that we can use some automatically or manually the switch to cut down all of the panels connection. This method just mainly focused to protecting our the firefighters. Maybe after this inverter switch off, the panels can still connect with each other. That we also generate the high value of the DC voltage. So this method could cut down could cut each of the connection of the panels, and so the maintenance staff or the firefighters could do some of the work on the rooftop. And also, our inverters are easy for the maintenance with some of the features like the night power supply. That means at night we can get some of the very tiny the power from the grid, maybe within 3 to 6 watts from the grid, and that to guarantee our the communication is still working. And also some of the stuff can do some of the maintenance with uploading the data to check on and to check on our the panel on our the SAMS the portal. And also with the different kinds of the protection or some of the certifications, we have also done some the report, also get some of the certification report. So if customers or you guys want to get some the details about our the protection, maybe some the the ingress protection, we can also provide some of the certificate. And also some of the wear dissipation for the fan. As you can see, for our new product of the later or the latest launched, the design of the fan for the independent pull out design for it is very flexible to the maintenance or to the cleanup up the fans, and also it is because it's independent that will have no gap of the internal the structure or the construction that we will guarantee some of the fans used with individual with our the inverter itself, and and also for some the second backup, the protection for the panels. The larger power capacity, the models of the inverter also can provide some of the anti-PID or some of the PID recovery function for the panels. Also for the aluminum, the cable used, because I think in some countries they have used some of the aluminum cable instead of the coppers, maybe regarding for some of the costs. So for our inverter, that we should reserve some of the space or give some of the necessary terminals to transfer from the cable from the copper to the aluminum the cable of the different materials, so that we reduce some of the risk about the fire or the others. Okay. Also, because in some countries that because of the policy or some of the customers or the clients use, they must do some of the zero export or some of the monitoring. So for our inverters, no matter the single inverter or the multi-inverter, we can provide the different solutions to achieve or to meet the zero export, the power limit, or some of the monitoring on, or some of the load monitoring on our portal. So here we simply showed some of the sample for the different model of our C&I inverters, such as for this one is the single inverter, and next this page is the multi-inverter with using our the data logger to connect the parallel of the different model of the inverters, and also in some the specialized the grid, such as the data grid, maybe used in the Brazil and also the Philippine market. We can also provide some our solution for the description of the specialized used in the grid. So for our customers or installers, it is easier to read and to follow of the description of the files or the documents. And also we also provide some the high voltage the power limit the solutions that had been used in Thailand and also Vietnam market. With the data logger and the meters, we can offer some of the solutions such as use the second point of the transformer, maybe from the 10 kilowatts to the 35 kilowatts. That will depend on the transmitters. The transformers from the first end to the second end of the ratio. I think also the data logger and the meter, the settings are easier, and also it's very flexible for the configuration to the MV side or the high voltage, the zero export. Yes, now let's shift the focus on the hybrid one. So GoodWe has established ourselves as a global leader in the energy storage solutions. So we have ranked among the top 3 hybrid inverter suppliers worldwide, and also the hybrid solutions are trusted by the business and also residential around the world for their ability of deliver the stable, reliable, and efficient the energy storage solution, so making them a top choice for the C&I applications. Yes, I think this system are designed to combine the solar power with energy storage, offering the business often the business flexibility to store energy for the later use. This is very special. This is especially used for such as hours self-use, also the peak shaving, and also the time of use to do some the discharging and charging time for the one day. I think here I want to the mainly focused on is that the TOU, the time of use features. So for some other the brands, maybe their the TOU time for the charging and the discharging time must be equal to the number. Must be equal the number of the settings. For example, if one day you want to set the full time, the period for the charging and discharging, that must be the 2 charging and the 2 discharging. But for our GoodWe's company, that's not necessary for the equally. So you can set the 4 charging this time and the 0 charging time. That is okay, and also will meet the requirements of the clients. It's very flexible. Yes, yes, and also the system is designed to combine the solar power with energy. Also, yeah, GoodWe's hybrid. The solutions are not just about generation power. They are also about optimizing energy used and insurance reliability, even in the face of the grid instability or the outages. And now we will introduce some of the individuals and models of our hybrid one. The first one is our ET series from the 15 to the 30s. This one is one of our most versatile hybrid system designed for the large residential or some of the small commercial applications. Here we make some makes it to stand out such as we each the power compatibility. And on our website, we have showed some hours compatible list for the different brand of the batteries. So our system allows for allowed for the easy compression and the 2 batteries input, each compatible with the different brand and also the compatibility, making it perfect for the business that want to mix and also match battery system. And also we have also the all-in-one system, including the cabinet that could be installed outdoor. Yes, for the business with large scale, the large in energy storage need, GoodWe offer the pioneer solution that allows the multiple batteries to be connected in parallel. This system is designed for the maximum flexible and scalability. For example, for our the 30 kilowatts the 30 kilowatts that could be connected max to the 180 kilowatts hours for the batteries, and also yes, and also for our the 50 kilowatts the hybrid for the C&I. This is also the powerhouse designed for the commercial one. Yes, as you can see, some of the features that such as we have the 3 or 4 MPPTs that guarantee our inverters can handle the large scale energy demands of each cases, and also the UPS level backup. That means the system provides some of the switching the short switching time in less than 10 milliseconds, ensuring the uninterrupted power supply during the grid output, and also the load the IP66 rating. This one is designed for the outdoor wall mounting, and the ET50 is built to withstand the environment and making it ideal for the industrial settings. And also the scalability, this system can be expanded up to 4 batteries with 100 kilowatts hours. So that means it can support a maximum the capacity of 400 kilowatts hours for each unit. And also for this series, we can also parallel the 10 units of the inverters. That means the system, the whole system could be up to the 500 kilowatts of inverters and the 4 megawatts hours of the batteries. Yeah, he will show some of the parallel and the batteries catalogs. Also, yeah, just sorry about I forgot to introduce the SDS box, because this one our main aim for the SDS box is that we can provide the individual the on-grid and the off-grid switching device, because maybe in some countries and maybe they didn't want to get the off-grid switching function, so that could only use the inverters. That's okay. But for the Southeast Asian or some other countries, we want to get together with the off-grid switching. So that's the SDS box must be used for the whole system to the parallel of the backup or some the switching. Yes, also this the DC oversizing solution for ours hybrid one. GoodWe's the hybrid solution is designed for the maximizing the PV output while ensuring no waste of the power. As showed here, this system allowed you to connect more solar panels than the inverter's rated capacity, typically up to 150% oversizing. So this means you can generate more energy during the peak the sunlight hours without overloading the inverter. Also, this excess energy generated by the solar panels is stored in the battery system, ensuring that no energy is wasted. And also as I said before, the UPS level, the switching time, I think, because we have done some the research about the switching time, maybe now at the moment, I think some other brands are now in the market just use maybe within 5 seconds or 500 milliseconds. I think for us that the 10 milliseconds is hard to be beaten in the field with the inverter, the hybrid inverter. I think it's very important the highlights of our of the GoodWe hybrid solutions. And also advanced for the up to 150 the bi-directional unbalanced three-phase output. This then means that different phase could output or connect with the different the power capacity with the loads and the output, making them ideal for the business with unbalanced grid conditions. And this feature is also particularly used for the business that operate in areas with a stable and unbalanced grid, ensuring the reliable and efficient energy management. Okay, the third party, I think we can continue with our the new product. GoodWe, yes, I think this year GoodWe is committed to continuous some innovation, and we are excited to share some of our upcoming products with you. So these new solutions are designed to push the boundaries of the efficiency and scalability, ensuring our GoodWe remains at the front of the renewable energy technology. So let's dive into some of the coming. So for the on-grid one, our the STT G3, the 40 kilowatts and 50 kilowatts is one of our the most anticipated upcoming products. This next generation, the inverter is designed especially for the commercial and for the small C&I scenario. Also, we offering the high efficiency and we have increased the input current. Within the 150 the oversizing. This also these inverters allows you to connect more the solar panels more than the inverters the rated, and the AFCI is also the optional. I think the most and also the very important the features is that the quiet operation with the noise level is as low as 51 dB, and it's ideal for the noise sensitive environment like the schools and hospitals. Also for the large scale commercial one, we are introduced the GT the 150 kilowatts the series. These the high power inverters are designed to meet the growing demand of the energy in large facility. And also, this series divided into two variants. The one is the 150 is the 400 output, and the 95 the kilowatts is for the low voltage output. And also, these two variants have up the 10 MPTs and also the optional the AFCI and also the SPD type level, and yeah, with the well performance of the optimized the noise level, as you can see that we have done the operating at less than 70 dB. These inverters are quite enough for use in the urban and also the industrial settings. And by the way, that this series also support up to the 21 amps per string, making it compatible with the latest the 182 and the 210 the panels. Also our the new SMT the series with the new. Also with the two variants with the normal output and the lower the output. Yes, for the hybrid one, is the most important is the PCS, our the 125 kilowatts with the inverter and the 261 the kilowatts hour the batteries. It's for the business looking to integrated large scale energy storage. We are introduced this one with the high capacity the energy storage system is designed for the C&I applications. So some important features such as the high temperature tolerant, this one have the stable the operation within 60 degree. With if we using the 110 the overload, the long time overloading capacity, it can be controlled in the normally within the 40 degree. Also, this one allows for the flexible load management even in the unbalanced grid conditions, and also provide our the cabinet with the IP66 protection level, and also some of the C5 with corrosion the resistance. Yeah, the last one is ours, the IoT product that our the new data logger. This one just to guarantee for the mixed parallel with the different model of on-grid inverter and also the hybrid inverter, and also give offer the stable communication method and also the extension for the different system devices connect. Okay, for the last one, I think we can just have a look or to have a look at the cases referenced in the different countries, no matter in the China and also maybe Southeast and other countries. And I think, yeah, here we showed some of the new products such as the GT have been installed in China, and yes, that have been tested maybe 1 year. That's for the operating very stably and normally. Also in our own the HQ, the cities in Suzhou. Maybe for the global countries, and we have installed some of the large scale or some of the solar farm the system. Sorry, the solar farm the scenario with our the utility one or the large scale of the C&I one. So some of the European countries. Yeah, and then also in China, maybe some of the countryside with the different countryside with the rooftop of the residential one. We have do some of the operation with the government and also some the investment of the solar power. Okay, I think thank you for joining us or take the time for my presentation, and I think we hope this presentation has given you a clear understanding of the GoodWe's product and solutions. So GoodWe has the technology and also expertise to meet your needs. Let's power the feature the feature together. If you have any questions or would like to discuss how GoodWe can help your business, please feel free to reach out and also connect with us. Okay, thank you. Back to you, Actor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. So, yes, there are a couple of questions, but before that, let's have a conclusion for today's session. I would just like to know if there's anything that you would like to add on to Mr. James and Mr. Jeffrey, both of you, if there's something that you would like to say about today's session. Mr. James? All right, I guess after the presentation, there's not much left to say because these were pretty valuable insights that we got from all of our speakers over here. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, before we conclude, I would just like to take a couple of questions. So one question that we have, I'm just going to quickly show it on stage. Beyond what capacity usually does DC coupled solution become economically unviable, more expensive than AC coupled solutions? Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. Ho, would you like to put in your valuable inputs in this? Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So this is one question that came in. Beyond what capacity usually does DC coupled solution become more economically unviable or more expensive than the AC coupled solutions? Would you like to answer this one?
Yes, I think the DC coupled solution might not depends on the power capacity because that maybe in some of the countries, maybe in the they have installed some of the on-grid one that some customer want to get some the power the connection with the battery. That's the AC coupled will be more more proper proper the solution to offer and to provide for our customers. But if maybe And for us, that if some for our the hybrid one, if the price and is good and maybe acceptable for our customers, we prefer to recommend our the customers to just replace our hybrid one, because if you just continue use the older the downgrade of other brands, that maybe have some the warranty or others the technical issues maybe with the different brand of the inverter. So if the customer can accept some maybe some our the price or some of the solutions about a hybrid one, I think we prefer to offer our the hybrid inverter instead of the AC coupled, because that thing, no matter for the battery and no matter for the communication, that is good for the future use and also the customers' requirements. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. There's another question that we just got, and this one is: does GoodWe address security concerns of countries around their product offering in terms of their hardware and software? So, does GoodWe address security concerns of the other countries as well?
Yes, I think this question we have maybe some of the European countries also now in the South Asian countries have also released these issues or their concerns about the security, the software security. Okay, for some of the European model or some of the European the countries used, we have done some of the IEC about the software, the security. We have doing the application for the certification. So, but the different country have the different the security, the requirements or the certification of the others. So, for example, if for our the portal, maybe some customers want to get some of the terms or some of the policy about for the protection of the data of customers. So we can provide our the method or some the total method of our the security for the platform software, and also you can download some of the privacy the terms from our the portal, the homepage of the portal, that will have some the files and the documents. And also others maybe use some the wireless communication, also some others the internet connection. For example, in Australia, we have done some related to the certification to do some of the wireless or the 4G communication can be used our own dongle in this country. Also, this certification have involved some the security about the software and also some the data protection. So if in some countries they want to master to let us to offer some of the certification and the report, we can do the best to do some of the test or some of the report, and to I think it's easily and flexible to provide the certification we have done for our customer clients. That's okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And there's another question that was asked in the chat box, so I've just put it up as a question. Here, this is: to capture new customers or market by replacing old damaged system, is there any GoodWe incentives? So does GoodWe provide incentives for capturing new customers? Mr. Jeffrey?
Okay, I think for technically, I think we must guarantee that we can do some the replacement about the old the damaged system. Yeah, because I'm just the solution engineer. So for from the technical part, we just do some the higher the better performance of the new models to replacement. But for the others, the marketing or some the benefits, yeah, maybe should contact to follow our the marketing the policy or some the sales the policy for the different countries. So yeah, I'm not sure. I can only to answer some of the technical one. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. So we've had a couple of other questions as well, but they've all been answered by the respective presenters. So I guess this should be a good time for us to conclude today's webinar as well. And now, as we conclude our today's webinar, I would like to specially thank all our speakers, attendees, and most importantly, our exclusive partner, GoodWe, for their invaluable support in making today's session a success. And we all look forward to bringing to you more such knowledge-driven sessions in the future. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. James, and all other speakers for your invaluable time. Thank you all for attending today's webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ekta.
Thank you.